I love college football quarterbacks, and I am super excited for all the quarterback talent we get to watch this upcoming college football season. In today's video, I want to talk about the 25 quarterbacks I'm most excited to watch in 2020. Disclaimer, this is not a list of who the 25 best are, it is solely my opinion and who I'm excited to watch. I will be doing a top 30 quarterbacks in college football video in the next few weeks though. I'm changing up the pace for today's video, and let me know if I should do more videos like this. If you enjoy college football, then this is the channel for you, as I've been basically uploading every day as of late, and I have no plans on stopping that anytime soon. Please take a moment and subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you never miss another upload. Before we get started, head down to the comment section and let me know who your favorite quarterback in college football is. I'm going to start with the Big Ten. The first guy I'm super excited to watch this year is Michael Penix Jr. from Indiana. This will be Penix's second year as a starter, and the key for him is going to be staying healthy. He has shown flashes of brilliance so far in his career, and he will be a redshirt sophomore this season for the Hoosiers. Injuries have derailed both his redshirt and his freshman year, but he still managed to throw for 1,613 yards and 11 touchdowns in only 9 games so far. Indiana football had their best season in a long time last year. Penix is the best quarterback since Nate Sudfeld, and he could be the best to ever play in school history. As a kid who grew up in Indiana, I've always been rooting for Brandon Peters to succeed. He was a big-time recruit coming out of high school, but Michigan never gave him a real chance to succeed there. Last year at Illinois, Peters threw for 1,884 yards and 18 touchdowns, and he led them to a bowl game for the first time in forever. He did struggle at times, but he will now be a senior, and a lot of people are saying this is the best Illinois team in years, so I am pumped to see what he can do this year. Sean Clifford is the next guy I'm excited to watch as he enters his second year as a starting quarterback for Penn State. He threw for 23 touchdowns last year, and I think he has the potential to become a star. With the losses of KJ Hamler and Justin Shorter, he'll have to replace 2 of his best weapons, but I'm really pumped to see what he can do. Rocky Lombardi is the presumed starter for Michigan State this year as they transition from Mark D'Antonio to Mel Tucker. Rocky's just a funny looking guy with a cool name, and I got to see him play a few years ago against Purdue. So far he hasn't been anything spectacular in his backup role, but I'm curious to see what he can do as the full-fledged starter. I know I'll be tuning in to watch Rocky play. Finally, I'm really excited to watch Justin Fields at Ohio State. He did a lot better than I thought he would last year, and I think the sky is honestly the limit for him. With another year under Ryan Day's system, I think he has the potential to win the Heisman this upcoming year. I don't usually care or root for Ohio State football, but Fields is must-watch TV. A few other interesting situations from the Big Ten will be who wins some of the bigger quarterback battles. At Michigan, it'll be between Dylan McCaffrey and Joe Milton. The Purdue job will be between Jack Plummer and Aiden O'Connell. The Nebraska job will be between Luke McCaffrey and Adrian Martinez. And the Northwestern job will be between Peyton Ramsey and Hunter Johnson. Either way, the Big Ten has some good quarterbacks, and I'm really pumped to watch all of them. Before we move on to the next conference, head to the comment section and let me know who you think will be the best quarterback in the Big Ten besides Justin Fields. First, look no further than Georgia's quarterback situation. They brought in Wake Forest grad transfer Jamie Newman, and he was expected to be the starter, but then USC quarterback JT Daniels transferred in, and he may get a waiver to play immediately. Terry Wilson was excellent 2 years ago as he helped lead Kentucky to one of its first 10-win seasons in a long time. He spent most of last year on the sidelines due to injury, but I'm really curious to see how he comes back for his senior year. I expect Kentucky to potentially compete for the SEC East as long as Mark Stoops is there, and let's see if Terry Touchdown will lead them to new heights. KJ Costello was a former 5-star recruit coming out of high school and had a pretty solid career at Stanford. With Mike Leach also coming in and KJ being there, he will likely be the starting quarterback for Mississippi State, assuming he beats out Garrett Schrader. Mike Leach makes every quarterback look like a superstar, and I am excited to see how Leach develops Costello and how many games the Bulldogs win. Felipe Franks was both loved and hated at Florida, and I don't really know how I feel about his time in Gainesville. After he went down with that gruesome injury against Kentucky, Kyle Trask stepped in and took Frank's starting job for good. Felipe committed to play for Arkansas, and there's no doubt the Razorbacks will finish last in the West, but it's going to be really interesting to see how Franks plays after the injury, in the new system in Arkansas, and finally, he's just kind of a meme. Finally, I am really excited for Ole Miss to fully unleash John Rice Plumlee. I know they may also have Matt Corral splitting some snaps, but Plumlee is the kind of guy who could eventually lead the Rebels to an SEC championship, and I really think he has that potential. He's a really good runner with the ball, and if he can prove his passing, then he can become a superstar. I 100% may be jumping the gun a bit, but I'm also super excited to watch him play next year. It will be really interesting to see if Bryce Young can beat out Mac Jones, if Bo Nix can take it to the next level, whether Kellen Mond can actually win games, if Ryan Helinski is actually the future of South Carolina, and if Jarrett Guarantano can hold off Harrison Bailey. I could talk about SEC quarterbacks for hours, but it's time to move on. If you were enjoying today's video, take a moment to smash that like button if you haven't already, and it'll really help my channel grow so I can make more videos. Moving on to the Big 12, the first guy I'm super excited to watch is Brock Purdy. The Iowa State star has been really solid the last 2 years, and some scouts believe he could become a first-round pick if he has a big year. I'm worried about Iowa State's wide receivers though, but I think Purdy could potentially lead the Cyclones all the way to the Big 12 championship game, and I'm super excited to watch him. Charlie Brewer helped lead Baylor to an unexpected season last year, but how much of it was actual talent compared to the Matt Rule effect? I have no idea, but with new head coach Dave Aranda coming in, and his best weapon Denzel Mims now being in the NFL, I'm really intrigued to watch how Brewer and Baylor will do this year. Spencer Rattler was the top quarterback recruit in his class, and is expected to pick up right where the Sooners left off in 2019. I have watched his high school highlights, and I think he is the real deal. Some people say he could potentially win the Heisman this year, and honestly, maybe he could. I don't know what will happen, but it'll be must-watch to watch what Lincoln Riley will do with Rattler this year. I honestly used to dislike Sam Ehlinger, but after hearing his story about how his dad died when he was in high school, I started to appreciate and root for him. I think he's honestly always been a little bit overrated, but he works really hard, and now that he is a senior, I wonder if he will finally lift the Longhorns from a pretender to a contender. Finally, I am really curious to see what Alan Bowman is going to do in 2020. Alan has shown flashes of being a special player, but he can never seem to stay on the field. His season has been cut short the past 2 years due to injury, and I really want this kid to succeed. With the Red Raiders now being in their second year under head coach Matt Wells, let's see what Bowman and Texas Tech can do in 2020. I'm also really intrigued to see who will be the quarterback at Kansas, who will win the battle between Jarrett Dodge and Austin Kendall at West Virginia, whether Max Duggan is going to take the next step at quarterback, if Spencer Sanders is really going to become a superstar, and whether Kansas State senior Skylar Thompson could potentially take them to the Big 12 championship. Who is your favorite quarterback in the Big 12? Let me know. Sam Howell was probably my favorite quarterback in college football, and North Carolina football has never received this much hype. I think Sam is more than just hype at this point though, and he could lead the Tar Heels all the way to the ACC championship. Everyone has seemingly forgot about Syracuse football after the spectacular 2018 season, but I haven't. Tommy DeVito was a highly recruited quarterback out of high school and was pegged to be the next great Syracuse quarterback. He was average at best last year, and the Orange did terrible. I'm excited to watch him hopefully take the next step in 2020 and see if he can live up to that hype. De'Aaron King was the star at Houston, but he left a sour taste in the mouth of Cougar fans as he quit playing because of the team's bad start. He now arrives at Miami and is expected to be a star there. The Hurricanes have had mediocre quarterback play since Brad Kaya left, and De'Aaron should offer a nice change of pace for Hurricane fans. I know I'm excited to watch. Kenny Pickett has been a starter since he was a freshman at Pittsburgh, and heading into his senior year, I wonder if he's going to take that next step and lead the Panthers to a 10-win season. He seemingly has been the same quarterback all 4 years, and I think it's about time he breaks out. You guys thought I forgot. The guy I'm most excited to watch this year is obviously Trevor Lawrence. There's not much I can say that you guys don't already know, but he's going to be so much fun to watch this year. Finally, we will be heading out to the West Coast and talk about some Pac-12 football. The first guy I'm really pumped to watch is Jaden Daniels. The young Arizona State quarterback lit up the college football world as a true freshman. I think he has the potential to lead the Sun Devils to new heights. Tyler Shaw is pegged to be the next great quarterback out of Oregon, and I agree with all the hype. As long as he beats out Boston College transfer Anthony Brown and young quarterback Cale Millen, the Ducks shouldn't miss a beat at the quarterback helm. He'll be thrown in with the Sharks immediately, as his first 2 starts will come against North Dakota State's Trey Lance and Ohio State's Justin Fields. Keaton Slovis is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the game, and he's coming off arguably the best season for a freshman at USC ever. I think he has the ability to take the Trojans all the way to the Pac-12 championship game, and he could do even more by the time he leaves. I made a video about him a few days ago, so I'm going to leave a link in the description and you guys can check that one out. Davis Mills was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and he was originally stuck behind KJ Costello. He was average last year at best, but I'm really curious if A, he can lead them to a bounce-back season, and B, if he can live up to his potential in 2020. Finally, I'm curious to watch Jake Bentley at Utah. Jake was an above-average player at South Carolina, and after Ryan Helinski took his starting job, he will have 1 year to play for the Utes. Personally, I'm going to be watching him to see whether Jake is overrated, or if it's just that Will Muschamp sucks as a coach. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video as much as I did, and I think it was a nice change of pace from my typical stuff. Please be sure to let me know what you think, and who your favorite quarterback in college football is. I really want to know, and I really want to talk about some quarterbacks in the comment section, so please don't hesitate to say something. If you love college football, be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I really need your help to reach 2.5k subs by the end of June. Don't forget to smash that like button before you go, and now check out these other videos I've selected for you guys to watch next. Until next time though, peace.